What's up, everybody? Welcome. This is still happening? Yeah, it's still happening. Oh, did you miss me? I missed you too. Of course I missed you.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a
loner.
Daddy. A rebel.
I'm just a rebel. I'm just a rebel. Just a rebel, guys. Yeah. Nice. Sunrise on the horizon. Sky is blue. It's blue. Don't deny it. It's the news. It's bright. It's fucking early. It's so goddamn early. Get some glory, morning glory. What's the story, morning glory? Good morning headlines with Sky Jack Morgan. Start your day just fine. Information for you, darling. With coffee in your cup. Fill you right up. Cleansing weather on the go. Morning show you need to know. You need to know, baby. Here we go. Join us on this daily ride with your morning side by side. Catch the latest, feel the vibe. Nice, I'm feeling the vibe. Are you feeling the vibe yet? Yes. Good morning, headlines. Start your day just fine. Whoop! Oh. Yes. Boom. Such a great tune to wake up to, I tell ya. Such a great tune to wake up in the morning to. Top of the morning to ya. Top of the morning to ya. Top of the morning to ya. Hi, top of the morning to ya. How you doing, beautiful? How you doing, sexy? How you doing? I hope you have a beautiful morning today. This will be the last Morning Sky show in California. The Golden State is they tracked me down. They're rejecting me. I got kicked out of California. But I tell you what, it is so gray and humid here right now. I don't know. I think it's because of all of the insane weather patterns that are happening right now. And I think that's what's causing. We got the El Nino or something going on over here. It's so gray and humid. I went outside. It's hot, but it's humid. I can barely breathe. I feel like I'm I feel like I'm at sea level with all of the atmosphere crushing me. I got to get out of the low zone and into the ozone, baby. I got to get up. I'm moving. Yeah, I'm moving. And I thought I could do this until Friday, but there's no way. Tomorrow I have the house auctioneers and clear outer people. They're coming tomorrow at 9 a.m. That means I can't do this show tomorrow. Friday, the buyers doing the final walkthrough. I got to make sure everything's like, quite good for them on Friday, so I can't do the show. Saturday, I usually just do the guitar thing on Saturday, but the table at which I normally do the guitar show, that table won't be there anymore. So I don't know. I'll be living in a house with no furniture again, and which is fine by me. It's just I don't have like the stuff to do the show. This computer will be in a box on its way to Albuquerque. The laptop will still be okay, but I don't know if I have like the ability to do shows on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if I even have like the capability. So, can't do it. Let's do a news review on Sunday, summary of the week. On Sunday, I still won't have furniture. I'll be in a house with no furniture. I'll have no computer. I'll have no monitor. I'll have the laptop. I might still be able to do something, but I don't know. Something like the old school. It might be bare bones-ish. Might be a little bare bonesy Jonesy, man. And then on Monday, I'm driving to Albuquerque. And then on Tuesday, I hope that I'll be inside of Albuquerque house, but I don't know. I might be at a hotel. And then on Wednesday, I should be having the house, but I don't know if I'm going to have internet at the new house yet. Or I hope to have it all set up on time and everything, but who knows? So this will be a little while. There'll be probably a week before I'm back because it's Wednesday today. It'll probably be a week. Did you buy a house? Well, I'm in escrow on a house in Albuquerque, but the inspection is today. So if the inspection if they don't find a bunch of termites or a bunch of, I don't know, hopefully the water pipes aren't made of paper, stuff like that. Weird shit happens. So hopefully, the last house that happened, I was very disappointed and surprised by all the things that they found in the inspection. So I'm hoping this one goes well. And if it does, I will be moving to that house that I've shown you. And I hope that it will be a spannende Zeiten. Yeah. So, it's just going to be, this is the end of a season. This season ended, this season was a 5-year season. I've taken almost no breaks. And, I've taken almost no breaks doing this live stream. I've taken never more than a day have I taken off from doing this show. So it's time. I'm making a big move. There's lots going on. So I'm going to have to take off for this week until next week. Hopefully by Wednesday, we'll be back. And that's the plan. Trump is going to liberate us from the burden of elections. That's nice to hear. The burden of elections. I'm sick of all this voting. I'm sick of voting anyway. If voting changed anything, they would have made it illegal a long time ago. See, that's why they're making it illegal. Voting changes things. That's why they're making it illegal. Yeah, it's happening, man. It's all happening. You've got your boy Mom Danny asking for Benjamin Netanyahu to go to jail. Then I'm excited, man. Maybe do you think someone's going to listen to him? Think they're going to do it? They're talking about putting him in jail. Now they're going to put Ma'am Danny in jail. They might put Ma'am Danny in jail for talking like that because Donald Trump just froze all of the assets of the ICC judges who made the warrant for his arrest, for Benjamin Netanyahu's arrest. And now, what are we going to do, man? All their assets are frozen. They can't use their credit cards. It's crazy. It's crazy. International criminal court judges have had their assets frozen by the United States because they said that Benjamin Netanyahu's a murderer. Ma'am Danny just said that Benjamin Netanyahu's a murderer. What's going to happen? Not going to happen. You don't think so? You don't think he's going to patriotically serve a 3rd term and a 4th term before gracefully passing the presidency and an appointee? It's what the founding fathers would have wanted. That's what the founding fathers had in mind. Absolutely. Of course they did. That's exactly what they wanted. Yes. Trump didn't terminate the Constitution and patriotically unite the separation of powers just so some entitled people can feel like they have some free right to express criticism of him. What a patriot. Yes, Donald Trump is the patriot. He's as patriotic as Mel Gibson in that movie. What was that movie called where Mel Gibson pretends to be an American revolutionary? He's like, I'm a patriot. What was that movie where he was running around with the American flag and he's like, I'm a patriot. Trust me. Crikey, top. He's like, crikey, oh no, the shrimp on the barbie, Cornwallis. Crikey. We got our freedom, mate. How nice is this weather? How nice is it? Lethal Weapon 2, that was the only good. I love Lethal Weapon 2, man. Killing South Africans, except for the one hot one. Oh no, she gets killed though too. Lethal Weapon 2, man. Spoiler alert, all the South Africans die. Even the hot one. Man, she was so smoking hot too in that movie. Oh my god. I don't know who that sexy South African was in Lethal Weapon 2, but smoke show. Oh my gosh. At least in my memory. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but when it came out, they filmed Lethal Weapon near my house in LA. Near my school, I should say, because in school they had it was hard to get to school one day because a bunch of streets were closed, and they're like, oh, they're filming Lethal Weapon 2. Everyone was talking about they're filming Lethal Weapon 2. They're filming Lethal Weapon 2. Then later on that year, Lethal Weapon 2 comes out, and I had to go see it. And there was that nude scene. I think I must have been in the second or third grade. I think I was in the third grade maybe. And whoa, my God, sexual awakening. I still hate South Africans, though. I saw a video of a guy getting arrested for his First Amendment right over Trump's executive order for Antifa being a terrorist organization. It's happening. Yep. Sky crawled out of the meth hole. Is there such a thing as a meth hole? I know there's a K hole. Is there a meth hole? I never heard of a meth hole. A mess hall. Oh, you mean a mess hall. You probably have a speech impediment. You probably meant mess hall. Do you have that? I think of May probably talks like this. Oh, Sky, he crawled out of the meth hall. But when you say it like a normal person, it's like, oh, Sky crawled out of the mess hall. I think that's what you mean. The mess hall. Yeah, I don't eat at mess halls, generally speaking. I usually cook for myself. I cooked for myself yesterday. Thank you. That Chip guy's here. Chip guy's here. Hello, awesome vegan people. Hey, Chip, how you doing? Yesterday, I had to go get my car worked on. Check this out. I bring it in. I'm the first guy there, 8:30 in the morning. And they're like, worst case scenario is done at noon. Noon comes and goes. I'm there for 7.5 hours. I was at the Honda dealership getting my car worked on. When finally they say, actually, we fucked up your car more, and now the shifter doesn't work. It doesn't move. And I'm like, you replaced a small part on the shifting mechanism. How did that fucking happen? We don't know. But here's a loaner. And they gave me a new car to drive around. I'm like, I'll just take this one. Abba, you keep the old one. I'll just keep this one. I'll drive this one to Albuquerque, you sons of bitches. So now I don't know when I'm going to get my car back, but I have a loaner car now, which is very annoying because the whole reason I brought the car in was so that it wouldn't break down on the way to Albuquerque. And now the chances of it breaking down on the way to Albuquerque are higher than ever. That's how it goes, though. That's how the cookie crumbles. Have you guys seen this guy, Zoran Mamdani? You guys heard about this guy, Zoran Mamdani? You guys heard about him? Have you heard about this guy? He's getting pretty famous.
Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide. Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Damn, that's how the video starts. I thought there might have been an intro like, "Hi, I'm Zoran Mamdani." No, he's got that star power, man. Everyone knows who he is now. You don't need to say I'm Zoran Mamdani.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, the architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people. He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people, for the maiming of tens of thousands of children as those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia, for the targeting of neonatal hospitals and maternity care centers, denying newborns even the chance to live.
I don't know how I feel about the music. It feels a little overproduced there, Zoran. Do we need the music? I mean, it's pretty heavy shit. I don't need the strings coming in. I don't need that. Do I? Do you guys need that to be told that this is some dire shit?
For the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them. For the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month, the UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces, more than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on, all as we, as Americans, pay for the bombs that do the killing. There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest. As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding that there are crimes so grave they offend all of humanity.
Oh, yeah, they're called crimes against humanity. We did that with the UN. We decided there were certain crimes that were crimes against humanity. By the way, my name is Skyjack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? To be honest with you, I can't believe it sometimes, but this is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All donations and super chats will go straight. All donos. God, all the cool people call them donos. All the donos and super chats will go directly to my moving fund because I am basically like a whale dead in the ocean being picked apart by 1,000 craters.
Anyone.
Oh, Cash App and Venmo are Skyjack Morgan. Thanks for watching. This is the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. In YouTube history. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
With their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience, should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand that he belongs before a court of law. As I've said, I agree with the ICC that Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC. My administration has reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant. The federal government, however, does, and I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant. And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large. While we cannot end the genocide on our own,
Damn, Zora Mamdani. You're not welcome in New York City. Get out of my town. ICE isn't welcome. Zora Mamdani says ICE isn't welcome. Benjamin Netanyahu is welcome. How will you... No Nazis are welcome? The billionaires aren't welcome? No one's welcome in New York City anymore. If you're a Nazi, you're not allowed to go. Just you and me are allowed to go. I think I'd be welcome in New York City these days because I'm not a goddamn Nazi.
we can decide whether our silence will become another weapon, and we can examine every tool we have to defend.
You don't think someone will... Hey, Sunset Farms AZ says no one will arrest him. I don't know. What if he comes to New York City and some heroic NYPD boy in blue starts getting a little heroic? He's like, I feel like, you know how they are in New York. They're like, hey, I got a coffee over here. Hey, I got a coffee. Forget about it. Hey, is that Benjamin Netanyahu over there? Is that Benjamin Netanyahu over there? Hey, Frank, does that guy look like Benjamin Netanyahu? Hey. And they're going to be like, yeah, Bill, I reckon that is him. Because Bill's on loan from Mississippi. I reckon that is him. Ding, ding, do. What, New York? He's not allowed in New York. Damn, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be scary.
Defend the humanity and dignity of all people. That is my commitment to you.
Office of the Big Apple, baby. The Big Apple. Morning moron show. Yes. Yes, I'm just a moron. Just a moron trying to make it happen. I'm hoping, Mark Finley. I'm trying to have a good day. This is going to be my last show for a week. This is the last show. We're taking a week off. I don't know. We're taking a week off for the big move to Albuquerque. Yeah. I should have taken a left at Albuquerque. Bugs Bunny used to always say that shit about Albuquerque. You ever watch it? You ever heard about that bunny named Bugs? He's got a Flatbush accent. He's got a very specific New York accent from Flatbush. And that's not what you think it means. Flatbush is a place. It comes from a Dutch word, you dirty-minded freaks.
This is North Korea's most prestigious children's camp. This summer, it's welcoming hundreds of children.
Look at this cute. Look, they get the little... Man, this looks just like Catholic camp to me, except... You don't think MAGA's going to have camps like this? They always have camps for the kids, don't they? Hundreds of children are going to do this. They got special camps in North Korea.
From Russia, and for the first time since COVID, China.
Look at, they got little boats. Look at water slides.
I've never seen a summer camp like this.
This is horrible. I've never seen one except all over America in the Catskills. I've never seen I've never seen a summer camp like this. This is horrendous. It's crazy. They're going to sing songs about how great their country is and how great Jesus is. Okay.
The Songdo-wan International Children's Camp has boats and water slides.
Nice, dude. Already, I'm sold. I'm sold. Send my kids to the North Korean summer camp. That sounds like a great time to get to go on the damn boats and
indoor swimming pools.
They got indoor swimming pools. Look at the stars in the ceiling. Dude, that's sweet. I'd love to go to this summer camp as a kid. Wouldn't you? Members only live streams of the movie. Yes, members only live streams. Yes, we will be doing members only for sure. I'm not leaving you hanging. We're just not going to do the morning sky show. We'll still do live streams. Trust. I'm going to go to T-Mobile and get one of them mobile hotspots.
Carnival rides, a rock climbing wall, but they also have this.
Go forward and marshal in Kim Jong-un's footsteps. Okay, well, that's not that very different from the songs that we used to sing. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. Thank you. Whatever waves of gray. All right. We sing those songs. We sing songs like Jesus is a rock and he rolls my blues away. A bop shoo bop, a bop shoo bop. Yeah, Jesus is a rock and he rolls my blues away. I had to sing all sorts of shitty songs when I was in school. And when I went to summer camp, they made me sing all sorts of creepy fucking songs that made me, brainwashy songs. How many songs did you sing when you were what was your favorite brainwash songs? Let me know in the chat. Well, how about this one? This isn't even a song. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Every day. I can't forget that shit. You're gonna tell me I'm that different from a North Korean kid? Am I different from a North Korean because I had to do that? They got to do some other thing. They got to sing a stupid song. Look, man. Donald Trump is the greatest president a man can ever hope for. He loves 12-year. If I had a 12-year-old sister, I would give her to Donald Trump. Why would I? You don't have to hate the pledge, Lemon. I'm just saying, love the pledge, hate the pledge. I don't give a shit. Love it, hate it, don't matter none to me. All I'm saying is that we're not different from North Korea. That's all I'm saying. All these people that are like, I can't even believe what they're doing in North Korea. They're forcing the children at summer camps to sing songs about how great their country is. What? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn early night? Oh, sweet land of liberty. Sweet land of liberty. That's a great song. You could be Mormon if you want, not in North Korea. You can't be Mormon in North Korea? Are you allowed to be Mormon? I'm gonna look it up. Are you allowed to be Mormon in North Korea? No, you're not allowed to be Mormon in North Korea. Independent religious practice, including Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, are strictly banned. They are 100% atheist. You are not allowed to be praising Jesus. So instead of singing songs about Jesus, they're singing songs about Kim Jong-un. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Can't be Mormon in North Korea. Hey, I don't have a problem with that at all. You're not allowed to be atheist in this country. Over there, you're not allowed to be. I mean, shit, when I got married in Virginia, I wanted to say I'm atheist, and they wouldn't let me. They said, no, you have to pick a religion. They're like, what are you then, Jewish or something? No, I'm not Jewish. I don't have a religion. I don't have a religion. They're like, nope, gotta pick one. I was like, well, my mom was Catholic, so I guess I went to Catholic school, put Catholic down. Shit. You could be Satanist and you not completely. No, you cannot. You can't put Satanist down. Try to get married as a Satanist in Virginia. Go ahead, do it. Let me know. You've got 50 other states, bud. You got to move. You can't do everything you want in every state you want. Then don't tell me I could do whatever I want in America. I thought we were Americans. Nope. Turns out you got to go everywhere you want. Who cares what you want, Sunset? Who cares? I care. I care what you want. I think you should be able to do whatever the hell you want. But all I'm saying is we ain't that different from North Korea. I love people like, but you could be Mormon here. Don't forget, it wasn't that long ago that they murdered what was his name? Joseph Smith. They murdered Joseph Smith. Who murdered him? The cops. You could be Mormon here. Weren't Brigham Young and Joseph Smith executed? I'm pretty sure both of them were. I don't know about Brigham Young, but Joseph Smith, he got killed by a mob. You can do whatever you want. You got freedom of speech here. Didn't they kill Martin Luther King Jr.? Yeah, they did. But you could have freedom of speech as long as you don't say anything about the government. We're totally different from North Korea. As long as you don't say something about the government, you have freedom of speech. You can do whatever you want. Don't worry. Most prophets were murdered. So what? Because they were murdered by the Americans, you dumb piece of garbage. What are you talking about? You're the one saying. You're the one. Adore all. I adore all of you. Lamondon. I adore all of you. How much adore all did you take today? I adore all of you. Thank you. Always. How many spelling tests did you fail? Adore all. I adore all. Just like Kim Jong-un.
All the campers sing songs praising their supreme leaders.
Oh my God, they're singing songs just like I did in Catholic school. We sang songs, and Lutheran school too. And in just regular old secular school, we sang songs about how great America was, how great George Washington was, how great fucking Benjamin Franklin was. I won an award because I did a report on Teddy Roosevelt and stood on stage dressed like Teddy Roosevelt talking about how great the Rough Riders were and shit. Don't tell me we're so different from North Korea. I was on stage. I'm Teddy Roosevelt and I killed Cuban people. And that's great. We love killing Cuban people because I'm Teddy Roosevelt, a Rough Rider. I killed them myself and I became president. I did the Panama Canal. Nobody got hurt except for all the people who live there. Now we own it. We don't own it anymore, but back then we did. I'm old. Damn. You get to sing songs.
And it's not just the North Korean campers. They also host students from countries North Korea considers friendly, like Russia and China. Today, the camp sits at the center of growing geopolitical tensions, sanctioned
he's angry.
by Britain over allegations it helped indoctrinate.
How is Kim Jong-un any different than... Look, how is that face any different from Donald Trump's face? Like, Donald Trump makes that same face. I'm a mean guy. I'm tough guy. I'm a very tough guy. I'm very, very tough. I'm a very tough guy. Very tough.
Growing geopolitial tension.
Look at this face. Look at that face. Come on. That's a Donald Trump face for sure. Kim Jong-un doing his best Donald DJT. KJU doing the DJT.
Sanctioned by Britain over allegations it helped indoctrinate relocated Ukrainian children, claims North Korea denies. Yuri Frolov went to the camp twice when he was in high school.
Russia kicked out Mormons. Hey, look, man, you're just making my point for me. We're not that different from the Russians. We're not that different. We're not that different from the Iranians. We're not that different from the North Koreans. We just like to think that we're so different. Oh, the Russians kicked out the Mormons. We literally killed all the Mormons. Like, our country killed Mormons. That's why they left Chicago. That's why they walked with wheelbarrows to Utah. That's why they're in Utah. 1,000, like, I don't know, like a mile up off the sea level. I don't know how high. What's the elevation of Salt Lake City? What's the elevation of Salt Lake City? It's a mile. It's literally a mile above sea level. They moved a mile above sea level because they wanted to get away from us. People were killing them.
Sometimes the people were forced just to sing propaganda songs about like the...
See, this guy, Lemondon, he is a very, very fascist. This guy's a little Nazi. Maybe you should leave the country since you hate this country so much. You have to love our country. You must love our country at all times. If you say anything about our country, I will send you away. Like, what is up with you? The whole point of America is to criticize the country, you creepy little fuckwit. And what is with you guys? Dude, go Go to Bukele's. Go get bukkake from Bukele over down there in El Salvador, homie. You like sucking ass so much, you fucking bootlicker. What is it with you bootlickers all the time? If you don't lick boots as much as I do, you can leave. I'm busy kissing all this ass. My nose is so far up Donald Trump's butthole, I can't even see more. I can't even see anything. It's just my whole face is covered in Donald Trump's shit. And if you are doing it, fuck off.
Great leaders of North Korea, Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Jong-un. And basically, we were forced to speak the songs as well. But
it sounds just like America. How many songs have I sung about Abraham Lincoln and Donald Trump? And no, not Donald Trump. George Washington. Donald Trump songs are coming. George Washington. I've sung so many stupid songs about presidents. Holy shit.
They were like in Korean, but they were translated into Russian.
He also says campers had to clean giant statues of.
That's great, man. Clean shit. When I was a kid, we had to clean shit too. They're not teaching kids how to clean shit. When I was a kid, you had to go clean up. You got to go sweep the floor and shit. Keep your space clean. It teaches you how to keep your space. It teaches you how to
the late leaders
be clean.
Which was also very strange. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and we were just called to clean some dust out from this monuments.
His experience offers a glimpse of what many of this summer's Russian.
Those monuments are going to clean themselves.
And now Chinese campers are likely to encounter.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, because we're so different from the North Koreans, look what we're doing. Look what we're doing with the ICC judges. Watch this. This poor guy, he's just standing there like, oh, bloody hell. I'm guessing he has a bloody hell accent. Doesn't this guy seem like someone who says bloody hell? Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell.
This ICC judge can't use his bank cards or book a holiday online.
Can't even book a holiday. We don't have vacations in America. Sorry.
Because he's been sanctioned by the US for his role in approving an arrest warrant for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In February 2025, Nicolas Guillou and 7 other judges from the International Criminal Court were put on a list of 15,000 individuals blacklisted by the US.
In this sanctions list, you have the terrorists from Al-Qaeda.
Oh, man, I like that he's got his little name in his little blue robe. Man, I'm going to start embroidering my name into all my clothes so I can be like this guy.
From Daesh, and you have international drug traffickers. And in the middle of that, now you have the judges of the International Criminal Court. With the sanctions, you basically do not have any service from a US company. It can be the big platforms, Airbnb or Booking. For example, I made a reservation on Expedia. It was cancelled. And it's the same with credit cards, because in Europe, we use credit cards that are American. Visa, MasterCard, American Express. And in most countries, we do not have any alternative. We have a travel ban. We cannot go to the United States.
He has a travel ban. But Benjamin Netanyahu's okay. And so is Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman has killed American journalists, but the judges of the ICC can't come to America anymore, can't use their credit cards. Woo! It's Nazi time. Wow. It is straight. This is it, guys. What do you mean it's not? What do you mean? Why are you comparing him to Hitler? This is straight up Hitler shit, man. This is it.
The assets that we could have there would be frozen. And it's a prohibition from any US person, whether it's an individual or a company, to provide service to us. We live like in the 90s.
I kind of like that, though, don't you? Like, how's it like in the 90s? How's it feel like being in the 90s? You know, I kind of like that, man. We live like it's the 90s because America has sanctioned us because we have a warrant out for the rest of Benjamin Netanyahu. we did our jobs and we have an arrest warrant out for a war criminal, and now we're unable to use any of our shit. We can't use the internet. It's about like the 90s. I think that's awesome. That's all you had to do. You had just, in order to live in the 90s, that's all you had to do, man.
We didn't have all these.
You ever wish you can go back?
Tools.
In November 2024, Judge Guillou and 2 others on a panel found there were reasonable grounds that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, and a Hamas commander, Mohammed Deif, or criminal responsibility for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity committed from October 2023 to May
Here's some pictures if you need a reminder. Benjamin Netanyahu's killed tens of thousands of people.
2024. The ICC accused Netanyahu and Gallant of the war crime of starvation as a method of warfare and the crimes against humanity of murder, persecution, and other inhumane acts. US President Donald Trump said the court had abused its power by issuing arrest warrants for Netanyahu and Gallant because Israel is not a member of the ICC and therefore the court has no jurisdiction. Trump also said it could set
How convenient that that Israel isn't a member of the ICC.
a dangerous precedent that could expose members of the US military to possible arrest.
Well, shouldn't they just stop doing war crimes? How about stop doing war crimes? You know, this is a dangerous thing. They're trying to catch war criminals and people who commit crimes against humanity, but that would mean that they could take some of our soldiers. Well, only if they commit crimes against humanity or war crimes. Well, then we do that every day. So we don't want to open ourselves up to any kind of vulnerability. You know, our boys, they don't, we like the fact that they go to other countries and rape a bunch of people. We love that stuff. We love that for our boys in green, in beige. I don't know, what color do they wear these days? Sometimes I've seen them wearing green. Sometimes I've seen them wearing beige. Our military, we love the fact that they go to other countries and rape all the women and kill all the boys and kill all the little kids. We love that shit. But it's war crimes. I know. We don't want that dangerous precedent being set that we're going to incarcerate or even pursue or investigate war crimes. That would be horrible.
Tonight, a gunman opening fire.
Meanwhile, in America, we've got our own people shooting each other in the streets. Las Vegas, son, man. Las Vegas. Here we go.
Unleashing multiple rounds in this North Las Vegas neighborhood.
Damn.
Randomly firing as he appears to roam the streets. Doorbell
What's he say? What's he saying?
cameras capture the shirtless man with what police say is an AR-15. Look as he walks down the street Sunday pointing his gun, even knocking at a front door. He crouches down on this porch to take aim. Ryan Adams films the shooting from a window before the gunman starts firing.
You want to bet this guy is a serviceman again? You notice that the guy who lit the fire over at the federal building, he was a private in the army. What is it with he was in the army for 4 years? What is it with the army guys always going nuts and wanting to kill the government? What's going on there? Remember the guy, the Marine that blew up the Tesla in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas? Also in the Marines, you know, military personnel, our military personnel, they're freaking out, man. What's up with that?
In his direction.
What the? Oh. Get down.
Adams
Get out.
warns his family to take cover.
We were armed and just sitting tight, you know, hoping that he didn't come in. And
What's he doing?
fortunately,
What's he
for
shooting
us,
at?
that He didn't.
The guy's just shooting at random. Looks like he just shoot at random stuff.
On the
Later showing our Las Vegas station KSNV where several bullets pierced his home.
We just found a bullet fragment right here on the side, and then it actually buried in the wall.
Police arrived with guns drawn.
Police arrived. What do you think happened, guys? Police arrived. Do you think this guy makes it?
The
He's on the ground.
suspect on the ground before taking off
Run!
running.
Where's this gun? He
Police
doesn't have a
say
gun.
The suspect resisted their attack.
Okay, so he didn't have a gun. He threw the gun down, lay down on the ground, and then he ran. So what do you think the cops did? What do you think?
Him to take him into custody.
No gun.
And once apprehended, he became unresponsive.
He became unresponsive when they apprehended him. He mysteriously became unconscious all of a sudden when we apprehended him. What? What do you mean he became unresponsive? So you smashed his head into the asphalt is what happened, I'm guessing. No, you don't just become unresponsive when you're responsive. You don't just like, you could become unresponsive. It's a slow road down, like you're doing some kind of drug and you're like you start to become unresponsive. You don't just run around shooting and then become unresponsive when a police touches you. This ain't freeze tag out in these streets.
Adding, they believe he was impaired. The gunman was later declared dead at a hospital.
So you killed him. You killed him. He put down his gun and you killed him. I mean, They didn't even have a shootout. just straight up murdered the guy. He threw down his gun, laid down, got scared, ran, no gun, and then they murdered him. Oh shit, bro. America. We're totally different from North Korea, everybody. This is a totally different country. This is not North Korea. Stop comparing us to North Korea. We're totally different.
A chilling end sending terror through this quiet neighborhood. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
We thank you for watching. And
yeah, it must have been the fentanyl. It must have been the fentanyl. That another poor young man like Lindsey Graham, George Floyd, Charlie Kirk. They're all dying of fentanyl. It's horrible. This fentanyl scourge, it must be stopped. It's the fentanyl. If only we had bombed more innocent civilians in Venezuela, off the coast of Venezuela in the Caribbean. We should have just bombed more of them, and then we wouldn't have all of these fentanyl things happening. Man, he didn't look that fast. Now, he wasn't that fast, but they killed him. It's kind of, we'll never know what was going on. And you know what? He doesn't have 9 lives. You know, some say cats have 9 lives, and there's this cat who has seen more prime ministers. Have you heard about this cat named Larry in England? In jolly old England, like and subscribe for jolly old England news. We got the French flag, the Ukraine flag, the German flag, the butcher's apron, as they call the Union Jack. Look at that. This is called 10 Downing Street. If you're nasty, this is where the prime minister hangs. This is where they chill out. The new guy's about to come in. Look at this kitty cat.
I don't think there'll be any issues, but I mean, mostly because he's seen it all before, and he's well used to all of this. And he's spent time with Rishi Sunak's dog, so I'm sure Andy Burnham, when he brings his dog Axel in, shouldn't be a problem.
I don't know. Andy Burnham has a dog named Axel. They're afraid that they might eat Larry. Man, you better keep that dog Axel under wraps. England loves this goddamn cat.
And hopefully Mr. Burnham will also understand and respect that Larry.
Larry. Look at all the people gushing over Larry. Larry's the only thing keeping the country together.
He has been there forever, and he's the boss. So, you know, whatever Larry says goes.
Is this the end of rats in Downing Street?
Oh, so
he's
sweet.
The most stable thing in British politics, and you know, no matter you know what prime minister comes in, Larry's always been seen as this stable character that people look up to, and people kind of feel as like the night watchman of Downing Street. You know, he's looking out. Look at
there's Boris. Look, if he gets to know all of them. I think it's really sweet. He just hangs out by the mud scrapers down there, the little boot scrapers. That's what they got there at 10 Downing Street. They got these little things you can scrape the shit off your foot, because England, jolly old England's a dirty, dirty place. They didn't pave their roads until like 1997. And they I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But that is what that's there for. You see it in some old cowboy towns. You see it, they got those old boot scrapers because they used to not have roads paved and didn't have sidewalks. You just walked through the mud and the shit and had to scrape it off before you went into someone's house. The Japanese were like, how about we just take off the shoes? Not in England, not in America. We're like, nah, keep your shoes on. Just scrape them off. Scrape all the mud and shit off of them. Right here, I built a special little thing for that. I built a special piece of metal so you can just scrape your shit off before you come into my house. Don't bother taking off the shoes, though. You're good.
People are reassured his presence that things will carry on and continue as they were, and you know there will be no stoppage of any.
Look at this kitty cat. Look at this kitty cat. Man, and this 10 Downing Street is a one pussy house. That's it. Only one pussy's allowed in there, man. It's all one pussy cat. Dog. People love this guy. People love Larry. I love Larry. I don't even like cats very much. I like kitty cats, but like I don't want one. You know what I mean? But then I see Larry. I'm like, maybe I need a cat in my life. Maybe I should get a cat. Every once in a while, a dog or a cat, they just charm the pants off you, and you're like, maybe I need one. Maybe I should have a dog or a puppy cat or a kitty cat.
Hijinks and the photo bombing by Larry. He will continue to do everything that he does to kind of, I guess, enlighten and give people something funny and to talk about.
Man, I swear to God, we need more little thing. Maybe America needs something like that. Some kind of little, maybe we should have a dog that just lives at the White House. Just a dog that lives at the White House. And then if the dog attacks the president, that's just part of the game, man. Sorry. If you get attacked by this dog, it's your fault. England loves shit like this. When you go to the Tower of London, they got these they got like ravens there. They got these ravens. They cut the wings off these ravens, and but they're as big as they're like dinosaurs, man. They're massive. They're like pterodactyls. They're bigger than dogs, man. These ravens. They're crazy. They live at the tower. The tower. No matter what, they live there. They say if all the ravens die, the tower walls will crumble, and thus will England. That's what they say. So they got to keep them there. They got to. Pets are pretty kick-ass. You think I've never had pets? I grew up with dogs and cats. Man, you don't even realize when going through my mom's old pictures for this move, I had boxes of pictures of dogs and cats. Boxes. So many dogs and cats. And then I have like the lineage of the dogs and like pages of how the dog, all of the ancestors of these dogs. I got more shit about the ancestors of all the dogs than my ancestors. It's insane. Drag queen living in the White House. We got drag. Don't we eat cats here? Well, we eat whatever we want in America. It's America. You're allowed to eat whoever you want. You can eat babies in America. Haven't you heard? You can eat babies in America if you're Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. If you're Jeffrey Epstein, you could do it. Korean kids are executed for not pledging allegiance. Unfortunately, not exactly the same. Are you saying we're different in degree or in kind? Because I remember when I was a kid, I said I was going to test out the freedom of speech. And I said, I'm not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not going to stand up. And they sent me to the office. They sent me to the principal's office and gave me a detention. Is that freedom of speech? That's what happened to me. And then finally, I was like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, you have to do it. At least stand up. And I'm like, fine, I'll stand up. But I'm not going to say it. But I was a teenager, Dogs and cats living together. I've seen shit that'll turn you white.
Terry Hegseth, if you listen to my comments, you would have heard me say how amazing our warfighters are.
I heard failure. And the word heard.
I heard failure. Did that sound? Can you imagine Pete Hegseth being such a little bitch? Listen to his voice when he says, I wish the camera was on him. I heard failure. My daddy never loved me.
You would have heard me say how amazing our warfighters are.
I heard failure.
I heard failure. You called me a failure because I said I would win the war in Iran in 2 days, and it's been months, and I've spent $50 billion, and you call me a failure? Yeah, you're a failure. You cost the American people. You've spent $50 billion, but you cost us another $11 billion in gas prices and extra inflation over your bullshit because everything's gotten even more expensive because now gas is more expensive. So now it's expensive because of the tariffs. And then once it gets to this country, it's got to get on a truck. And those fucking trucks got gasoline in them. And that gasoline costs more money. So now everything's even more expensive. You call me. You said I was a failure.
I heard exactly.
I will tell you how I used.
I'll tell you, call me a failure. You dare you, PX. You can't call me a failure.
The word failure because I used the word failure to their leaders. You, sir, are the failure.
Man, I watched this live. I watched this shit when it was happening down at the dealership while I waited for them to fuck up my car. And I was like, oh! Everyone looked at me like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, did you see this shit? And everyone's like, what? That's how most people look at me when I say stuff like, oh, like in that Shakespeare play, like in Hamlet, and people are like, what? What? You know, when Pete Hegseth said that he's not a failure, and what? People are so like, I don't know how what are people doing with their lives? They're just, I don't know what people are doing. Just like, chemical lobotomy. I look at people walking around sometimes, and I feel like they're just corpses floating in a river. That's how I look at the world, man. I look out, I walk around, I go to your strip malls, you know, I go to your TJ Maxx, I go to your Five Below, I go to your Chili's, and I see all you assholes, and you're all walking around like this. Like it's a zombie apocalypse, man. I feel like you guys, like most people, man, they're walking around just completely just slow walking, just shuffling around. I know that you guys think that they had to make the zombies fast in the movies because the slow zombies are too close to reality. They're just like that's just like today. There's no different. You make a zombie movie today where the zombies are just like brainless. It's just like today. There's no difference. It's not scary anymore because that's our reality. The Fetty walk. Oh my God. It's crazy.
Not the men and women who are on that front line. You don't have a strategy. You don't have a long-term plan to actually win this war. Win the war. The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership.
This guy's straight up telling P. Hegseth, you better do your goddamn job.
When will you show leadership?
We have leadership.
When will you show
Why don't you
leadership?
show some leadership and stand up to your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops? Who stand
Fund the troops? You have $1 trillion, homie. You got $1 trillion. You ever heard of the big, beautiful bill? We all heard about it. You got $1 trillion and you're out here saying, why aren't you funding the troops? You have $1 trillion and you can't figure out how to win a war with a country that you say is a piddly little country. They don't have shit. You already murdered all their leaders and all this bullshit. You always, they ain't got no power. They ain't got no planes. They ain't got no boats. You keep on telling us that shit. Boy, they keep killing Americans somehow. They keep bombing ships. What the hell's going on? What's going on? You have $1 trillion. We gave you $1 trillion.
and play partisan politics while you don't give us the money.
Moments ago, a fiery hearing wrapping up.
I'm not a failure. I just don't have any money. Oh, so you're not just a loser. You're a broke ass bitch. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I love it. Pete Hegseth isn't just a failure. He's a broke ass bitch begging for money. That's what he is. We gave him $1 trillion, the prodigal son. He's a wasteful little bitch. Oh, what'd you spend all your money on? A makeup room at the Pentagon? Maybe you could have bought some MREs for the troops. I don't know. Just saying. I mean, we gave you all this money. Maybe you should have managed it a little bit better. Did you spend it all? I mean, it's only July. How'd you spend $1 trillion in the first 7 months? It's only July. I know. Okay, it's almost the end of July. 8 months. You still 7, 8 months, half a year. You have spent all of our money.
Where both Republicans and Democrats had some tough questions for Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General John Raisin Cain and the Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. You just heard Democratic Senator Gary Peters of Michigan calling Hegseth a failure. Hegseth said that the senator had Trump derangement syndrome. Cain and Hegseth appeared in front of the Appropriations Committee there requesting $87 billion additional dollars. $67 billion of that is for the Department of Defense and the ongoing Iran war. Hegseth also revealed that the American taxpayer has already spent nearly $38 billion on the war so far, which Trump continues.
Testosterone. Yeah, he's busy. Maybe you should stop thinking about testosterone. Maybe you should stop thinking about trans people. Maybe you should stop thinking about renaming boats. How much paint did you use to cross out Harvey Milk's name and put somebody else's name on that boat? How much did that paint job cost? Let's just get down to brass tacks. I need you to do your job for you. We need to get an audit. We need to get a consultant in here so you can know how to financial responsibility. I thought that the Republicans were the financial responsibility folks. Those days are over, man. Those days are over. You'd be the first to hide behind a soldier for protection if the enemy should come here. The enemy's already here. What are you talking? The soldiers aren't doing fuck all about it. Like your freedoms, and get on your knees and thank a soldier for what you enjoy today. Really? Wow, this is what I mean. They always want you on your knees. For some reason, these magtards always want you on your knees. Maggers are always like, get on your knees and take it. I'm on my knees taking it up my butt. Can you better get on your knees real fast or else we'll get in trouble. You better get on your knees and take it or else we'll all get in trouble. That's what maggers, that's why they want you on your knees all the time, because they're on their knees and they can't stand it that you're criticizing the government. Man.
Continues to call a conflict. Earlier today, Trump also reiterated his plans to destroy Iran's pickaxe.
You know what's funny? Stupid shit like this. William Talenti. Stupid racist shit like this. You know what's funny about these racists? It's always, even if you believed that brown people were the devil and you thought that they were the enemy, even if you believed that, Barack Obama deported more people and killed fewer. He even did a better job at being an asshole than you assholes. Like, if you really believe that immigrants are the devil and we must be rid of them, they're even fucking that up. Then you should hate Donald Trump for that too, because he's fucking that up too. Even the policies that I disagree with and you agree with, he's still fucking it up. He's inept. He's killing American citizens. He's killing the wrong people over and over again. Even if you think that the immigrants are the bad guys, he keeps killing the wrong people then. And you should hate him for that. No, I love him. I love him. I love it. Obama didn't have liberal you don't think, William Talenti, you must be 15 years old if you think that that's true. Everyone opposed Obama's concentration camps, and then he came out with his DACA Dreamer plan, and people started to be like, maybe if he's nice about it. And he just had people with clipboards deporting people through the courts instead of using guns and doing without the courts. Not the liberal swine. The liberal swine didn't know what he did. He said, hey, I'm going to use the courts to do what the courts do best and get rid of these immigrants. I'm going to put kids in concentration camps because that's what the Americans want. And people who disagreed, people like me, who were like, wait a second, this is fucked. He said, well, I'm going to use the courts. We're not going to break any laws, and we're not going to shoot anybody, and we're not going to kill anybody in the concentration camps. And the kids will be fed. And if they got here as children, they're 30 years here, we have DACA so that we can be at least fair about some of these things. And still, Donald Trump fucked even that. You will make excuses for Donald Trump. It wasn't as hard. Barack Obama had it easy. What? Barack Obama didn't have cell phones. ICE under Barack Obama didn't have cell phones, man. They didn't even have, they didn't have smartphones. What do you mean they had it hard? They had it easier. Barack Obama had it easier. What? They had no technology by which to locate people and take their pictures and send them into databases. They couldn't do any of the shit that they could do today. And there were fewer of them. He had like half the amount of people. How many ICE agents were there in 2009? He had 3,000 fewer. So 3,000 fewer. So Donald Trump has 3,000 more Gestapo agents, has cell phones, GPS, all the shit that he needs to find everybody he needs to get. And he still can't do it. He still is fucking it up.
Mountain, that's an underground facility south of Tehran, and where Israeli intelligence, we're told, believes Iran has moved part of its nuclear stockpile. Take a listen to Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy earlier today.
Now, What happens
Yes.
if we come home and end the blockade?
This is my favorite. This is what I'm here for. This is why I watch the news, is this shit. Now, what happens if I'm in Louisiana and y'all want to come over here and end the blockade?
To the world.
Sir, Iran has the potential to continue to be a threat.
We need some hard answers and some straight talk.
We need some hard. We need some hard cocks and straight men. That's what we need over here. We need some of that. This guy's gay, right? Senator John Kennedy's gay, right? He's got to be. Nobody talks like this.
What'll happen, Pete?
What'll happen, Pete? What'll happen, Pete? What gonna do, dang do?
Senator, I would agree with the chairman, but the likely outcome is they would try to impose their will on the waterways.
We need straight answers. We need straight answers.
Wow, did you have a fucking spine? Did Senator John Kennedy find a spine?
Do we have the ability to destroy whatever is underneath Pickaxe Mountain?
A lot of our capabilities are classified, but if anybody in the world can reach anything on God's green earth, it's the United States military, the most powerful military in the world.
No, we're the most powerful. We're so powerful. We're the powerful. We got a lot of power. Can I have some money, please?
It's all about options and trade-offs.
We just need more money. Can I have more money? If give me a little bit more money and I could blow up anything you want.
New York Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, when it was her turn at the mic, pressed Secretary Hegseth on his request for tens of billions of dollars to fund the ongoing war.
You are asking for unlimited money for bombs when people can't feed their families. And I don't know how this administration intends to defend those decisions to the.
They hate kids. What do you mean? They don't need to defend him. MAGA hates children. That's okay. MAGA just hates your kids. If you got kids, MAGA hates them. Unless they could fuck them or use them as cannon fodder. Other than that, they hate your kids. Your kids are worthless to MAGA unless you want to sign them up for the military or sell them to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein Corporation.
American people.
Trumpstein Corporation.
Not unlimited bombs, Senator. I'm asking for the right bombs at the right time.
The hearing started.
The right bombs at the right time. I don't want unlimited bombs. I need the right bombs at the right time.
With General Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, recognizing the U.S. servicemen.
Mud happy mom. I know Pete Hegseth is an idiot. I know you're probably yelling at your screen right now, being like, "You're an idiot, Pete Hegseth. My kids can't eat. I can't even drive my kids to soccer practice because this goddamn gas price is so fucking high. And you want more bombs? You want unlimited bombs?" No, we don't want unlimited bombs. We want the right bombs at the right time. We need more money because $1 trillion wasn't enough. $1 trillion isn't enough. Having the largest, craziest military in the world it's not enough. It's not enough. You're conservative. Well, that's good, Captain Cross stabbing, because I'll tell you what, conservatives, baby doll, they used to be about small government. I used to have a lot in common with conservatives, baby doll. Not anymore. Not anymore. And Trump is not a conservative. Trump is not a conservative. There's nothing conservative about him. Did you move? No, this is the last show for a week. We're going to be off the air for a week for Morning Sky. Morning Sky is going off the air for a week while I move. This is it. This is it, honey pie.
Members killed in recent days. Secretary Hegseth did not mention the dead in his opening comments. Today, the Pentagon released the identity of the soldier killed during the disposal of an Iranian drone in Iraq. He was 30-year-old Sergeant Michael Emmanuel Swinton. He died on Sunday.
Yeah, but he's black. They don't care about that. They don't care. A black soldier dies. Put a white guy with blue eyes there. Then maybe we might remember his name in America. But a black guy dying in Iraq? Nah, MAGA don't care about no black man dying in Iraq. MAGA do not care. MAGA does not care about no black man dying in Iraq.
And well, thank you so much for joining us. I want to play another exchange from the hearing and get your thoughts on it. Take a listen.
Thank you. Leftist ideology is a mental disorder. Yes, saying sharing is caring. Yes, it's a mental disorder. Saying, you know what, maybe we should just share all this shit instead of kill each other over it. Total mental disorder. You know what's funny? If you saw a monkey collecting 1,000 bananas while all his little monkey friends died of starvation, you'd be like, that monkey has a mental disorder. But monkeys like Sweet Havoc are like, I love that monkey. That monkey's got it right. Fuck all the other monkeys. Let him starve. Monkeys, you know, like if you're a leftist, you're like, hey, maybe you should just share all the bananas with all the other monkeys so nobody starves. There's plenty of bananas to go around. After all, we're all on God's green earth together. Why are you hoarding the bananas? Yes, you're right. That's a mental disorder. Totally. You seem to be quick on dismissing opinions that clash with you own. No, I just hate Nazis. What the fuck? I just hate Nazis. I think Nazis should have their heads chopped off. I don't think is that a hard concept? Were you expecting to find some liberal here? And he literally says anarchist under my fucking name. It says anarchist right there under my name so that you idiots will understand. No, I ain't some stupid liberal.
Are Russia and China helping Iran? And if so, how?
Well, Senator, as the chairman alluded to, there's definitely adversary alignment, attempts to do so, and there are many ways that we deter that.
Dude, he's sweating like a whore in church. What is going on with P. Hegseth? They forget to pay their electricity bill over at the White House, over at the Senate, the Senate.
That's some of which are, and the depth and extent of it ought to remain.
You don't seem to know what a Nazi is. Yeah, I know. I went to college and got a degree about Germany, but yeah, I don't know what a Nazi is. Literally have written fucking book-length projects about it. Have read countless books about the subject. I made a video called The 14 Points of Fascism and how MAGA clicks every box. So maybe you should look at it. Maybe you should read some fucking books or go back to high school, because in high school they explain it, but you know, maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe you were like, dang, dude, I got my thumb up my butt. Maybe you went to a Mississippi school. Mississippi, they don't teach you much down there, do they? They don't really teach you how to read none. So, you know, man, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I'm the one who doesn't know what a Nazi is. I've been to Auschwitz. I've been to Dachau. I've been to Bergen-Belsen. And you're like, you don't know what a Nazi is. Sure.
Remain classified, and it should, but there are ways in which both of those countries are limiting at different levels, enabling some of the things Iran.
The real Nazis are the Jews. The real Nazis are the communists. It's always that, right? It's always that. Yeah, exactly. It's hilarious. I love that stuff. The real Nazis are the communists. You mean the sworn enemies of the Nazis are the the sworn enemies of the Nazis are the Nazis? Yeah. You guys talk like you're fucking like it's 3 a.m. and you've drunk all night and did a shitload of 8-ball. You did an 8-ball between the three of you, and you're like, you know who the real Nazis are? You know who the real Nazis are? The communists.
Was doing, yes.
Does that surprise you at all? And what do you think China is doing to enable Iran?
Oh, Mark Lewis still don't understand. There's no such thing as a Republican anymore, dipshit. Republicans, there's no Republicans anymore, dipshit. It's either MAGA, the Nazi Party, or the Democratic Socialists, or the Social Democrats. They used, back in Nazi times, they called them Social Democrats. Now they call them Democratic Socialists. Back in Nazi times, they called them Nazis. Now they call them MAGA. That's what's going to happen. We're already there. There's no such thing as a Republican. The last Republican was Mitt Romney, and he's gone. Tom Tillis, gone. Paul Ryan, gone. There are no Republicans left anymore. What Republican? Tell me who's a Republican. Who? Maybe Chuck Grassley? Chuck Grassley, he doesn't even know where he is. There are no more Republicans. Who? Maybe Chunner John Kennedy? I just like Donald Trump. He lives loudly. I will support him. He ain't a Republican. There are no Republicans left.
Well, thanks, Jake. It's great to be with you again. No, I'm not surprised.
Ooh, Rand Paul. I knew someone. I love you for saying that. I love you for saying Rand Paul. But Rand Paul, he's practically an independent. He's a libertarian. He's not really, he never was. Like, Rand Paul and his dad, Ron Paul, they're not real. They were never really Republicans. It's just now they seem like the only reasonable ones, right? Because sometimes you can listen to Rand Paul and you're like, I kind of agree with this guy. Tom Massey, gone. Tom Massey's a real Republican, gone. You know, like we don't have any real Republicans left. I'm not saying Republicans are the Nazis. I'm saying MAGA is a Nazi movement. It has been from day one. Steve Bannon, the guy who really pushed this goddamn thing on us, he said that Donald Trump is the type of politician and leader who only comes around once a century. He was comparing him to Adolf Hitler. J.D. Vance said that if Donald Trump is elected, he will become America's Hitler. J.D. Vance is now working for the Hitler guy. Fucking Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham said that he is the Nazi leader, and if we elect Donald Trump, we will get what we deserve. He will destroy America as we know it. And then he was elected, and Lindsey Graham said, well, I love him now. I love him. I want to be close to power. I don't want him chopping off my ding-dong head. That's what they do. That's what the Nazis did last time. That's what they did in Nazi Germany. There were people who were like, I hate this Hitler guy. I don't like any of his ideas. Oh, he's in power. I'll do whatever you say, sir. Yes, I love him. I've had a complete change of heart. I've completely changed my mind about this Hitler fella. This feller just wants what's best for our nation. And they got on television, on the radio, and they started saying that shit. This Hitler fellers are, I was completely wrong, and I love him so much. I'll do whatever he says. How is that different from today? Yes, they fall in line. They fall in line. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, little Marco, too. Little Marco said, Trump's first term was great. Totally. That whole COVID thing was awesome. Someone just said something about little Marco. Marco Rubio said that he was the greatest con man who ever lived and was conning America to believe things that he was never believe in promises that he was never intending on keeping so that he could fleece us and enrich himself and his family. That's what Marco Rubio said, and he was right. And when Donald Trump took power, Marco Rubio said, I love him. He's the greatest. I just love him. I've had a complete change of heart. I've completely changed my mind about it.
This. I mean, I think we should expect that these two principal competitors to us, Russia and China, are going to take advantage of the situation and for their own purposes try to cast us in the best light or make things as difficult as they can. Russia certainly has a relationship with Iran linked to their operations in
yeah, but Pete Hegseth needs more money, guys. Needs more
right
money.
Now, Trump's war with Iran is the least popular war America has fought since the invention of polling. I mean, that poll from The Economist and YouGov has Trump 30 points underwater when it comes to approval for his war. And as The Economist put it today, it took the war in Vietnam 6 years to become as unpopular as Trump's war with Iran has become in 6 months. We're in day 142 of this war, well past the 60 days the president is allowed to wage a war without the consent of Congress. And last month, both the House and the Senate voted to reject the president's war. Congress can't pass anything these days, Lord knows, but this war is just that unpopular. And now the war is widening because Iran-aligned Houthis in Yemen are attempting a naval blockade of yet another of the world's most crucial oil thoroughfares, the narrow waterway that connects Saudi Arabia to the Red Sea, which you can see on your screen right there, which accounts for the distribution, I should note, of 7% of the world's oil supply. And just to put that in perspective, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz has reduced the global oil supply by about 10%, according to NBC News.
Sweet Havoc, I don't know. You're really pissing me off today, man. You come here all the fucking time. You've heard my rant against Joe Biden. I hate Joe Biden. What are you doing here, Joe Biden? You fucking got a problem with Joe Biden? Go take us somewhere else, dude. I'm sick of talking about how much I hated Joe Biden, how much I've hated Joe Biden since I was a kid, how much I talked shit about Joe Biden on this show. When he was president, I talked shit about him on this show. I hate Joe Biden. Are you happy? Joe Biden, though. You guys love Joe Biden. No, we don't. Nobody loves Joe Biden here. Fuck off. If you want to talk about Joe Biden, go to I don't know, Keith Edwards' podcast. Go to Pod Save America. Talk about Joe Biden. They're big Joe Biden guys. Go talk to someone who's a Democrat about Joe fucking Biden. I've always hated Joe Biden. Hate him today, hate him yesterday, hated him when I was 9 years old. I hated Joe Biden before you knew who Joe Biden was.
So now the Strait of Hormuz and this other vital passageway may both be closed. And while that means higher prices for Americans and people all around the world, Trump has refused to acknowledge the real cost of this war. Last week, the nominee for Pentagon Comptroller literally refused to tell the Senate how much the
Gentro, this is also not an Orange Man Bad show. I'm not even interested in being Trump. Trump is a fucking just the latest little guy. He's the inevitable. Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and Joe Biden, they all made him possible. They made him inevitable. They made Donald Trump inevitable. Donald Trump is just the last step into the mire. And now we're up to our eyeballs in shit. And we're like, oh, this Trump guy is the bad guy. He's not the one. It's been bad since Carter. You know, Carter is the one who started this, and we all went downhill after that. It's just gotten worse since Reagan. Just keeps on. We're getting one deeper. It's like walking into the fucking swamp. And now we're up to our eyeballs in piss and shit. And we're like, man, this Trump guy, he's bad news. This train left the station 50 years ago. And now we're in the shit. Donald Trump's just the latest screwball who's wants more power for the executive in order to limit your freedoms.
war was costing Americans. But anonymous intelligence officials have told the press that the cost is likely to exceed $100 billion. The Defense Department has similarly refused to say how many costly, hard-to-replace munitions have been used, while sources have told the press that the war has left their supplies drained. The same thing goes for the extent of the damage Iran has done to U.S. military assets. Trump said this war was about regime change. He has failed at that. Trump said this war was about Iran's missile capabilities. Then he reversed course. Trump said the war was about knocking out Iran's.
Is this about the time when Donald Trump put the infant overboard in Lake Michigan? And there's credible evidence and eyewitness accounts of how Donald Trump was there when they threw a baby over the side of a boat and let the baby drown because they wanted to get rid of an unwanted pregnancy. They want to get rid of an unwanted baby. Is that what this is about?
Nuclear capabilities. But he already said he obliterated those back last year. In reality, U.S. intelligence says we haven't even set Iran's nuclear ambitions back a day. Trump has said months ago that he destroyed all of Iran's military capabilities, and yet here we are, again, targeting Iranian military targets 142 days into this war. The White House's narrative around this war is all so misleading that even Trump's most loyal pundits seem to be losing the thread here. I mean, even they seem to not understand or be able to explain.
I'm sick. If you support Donald Trump, I mean, you're supporting a person who's openly pedophilic. He's openly a pedophile. Talks about wanting to fuck little kids all the time in the open. He's an openly abusive person towards women. His wife wrote a book about how he raped her, and he openly talks about how he's a sexual predator. His daughter laughs about it. It's a joke that they have between them that Donald Trump's a sex predator. Like, you guys, you're the sick ones. You wear his little hat so that we could spot the chomos. I noticed you guys aren't wearing those red hats anymore. It's a shame. We need those red hats back on you. It was really easy to know which one of you guys were the chomos. Don't let your kids around those red hats. So when wearing a red cap, man, if you drop your kid off and there's a red cap in that house on display someplace, you take that kid away. Do not let that kid sleep over. Don't let him do it. Don't let him do it. Don't do it.
How this all could possibly
like, what kind of a sick fuck would support Donald Trump at this point? July 22nd. If you're still supporting Donald Trump, you are mentally disabled. There's something wrong with you, or you're a chomo, pedophile. Something wrong with you. I'm not even blaming you if you voted for him. All right, you voted for him. You know, you got suckered. People get suckered every day. I ain't mad at you. You voted for him. All right. So what? People voted for a lot of shitty people over the years. You know, that's all right. People voted for Nixon. Jews voted for Hitler. There were bad people get voted for. But if you're supporting him on July 22nd, 2026, you would be like the Jewish person cheering on the concentration camps. Wake up.
You know, CENTCOM says that there will be outsized action in retaliation, but I don't understand how it's possible that Iran has the capabilities to fight this way and continue to try to lash out at Gulf countries and U.S. military bases, because the U.S. has obliterated.
Dwarven, Jesus. I have everything he's ever said. He admits it out loud all the time. For 80 years he's been talking, and for 80 years he's been, well, no, Well, he probably learned how to talk when he was 10 because he's a little bit Johnny. You know, he's probably for 70 years he's been yapping, and he's proven himself to be a racist, misogynist, child fucker. So yeah, I don't need definitive evidence when he's out there admitting it constantly.
Iran's military, and the president continues to reiterate that.
It's almost, not quite, like she gets it. It's almost like she is starting to realize that the White House is lying about this war, that these things all can't be true at the same time.
Uncle alert. Yeah, baby. Don't you mean DILF alert?
And as offensive as it is for the president to be lying about this war to the American public, it is even more offensive to the families of the Americans actually fighting it. Today, the New York Times reported that the Pentagon has been withholding information about U.S. troop casualties. I should note that a spokesperson for the Pentagon denied the Times reporting, calling it outright lies from partisan hacks. Okay. But it wasn't until after the Times reporting that the Pentagon announced that the number of troops injured in Iranian attacks in recent weeks was actually approaching.
I gave away my age. I tell people my age every day. I'm almost 50. Are you happy, Brooklyn? Yeah, I'm almost 50. I've been around. I'm probably your dad.
100. And this comes as
because I've been out there. I've been out in these streets. I've traveled the world. I've been everywhere, sowing my wild oats. I'm probably your father. How you doing, son? You all right? Be careful out there with anybody with red caps.
The Pentagon identified 2 of the 3 active duty soldiers killed in action since Friday, 25-year-old First Lieutenant Tyler James Fian of Hawaii and 19-year-old Isabella Gonzalez of Texas. Right now, there are more than 50,000 U.S. troops deployed in the Middle East, and Trump is still lying about this war. Joining me now, Senator Mark Kelly, who serves on both the Senate Armed Services and Intelligence Committees, and of course served himself. Thank you for being here, Senator. I want to first get your reaction to something that Donald Trump said yesterday when he was asked about the U.S. service members. And Chris Hayes was just saying this is very true. It felt a bit like a shock, I think, to many people in this country that 2 service members died on Friday. We learned more have been injured, given they keep hearing every day that this war is over. But let me play that for you.
Well, we feel very badly, but, you know, those great people, those great patriots are out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
They're fighting about nukes. Have you heard about oil? It's all about nukes. It's all about nukes. Have you heard? It's nukes. Nukes, 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 nukesy, nukesy. It's about nukes. Has nothing to do with oil.
The name of my first pet was Joe Biden. No, the name of my first pet was Clarence Thomas. Because he always was trying to hump everybody's leg. It was Clarence Thomas. He was a sexual harassing animal.
Iran has been very, very badly damaged. They've lost everything almost militarily.
I know we were having some sound issues there, so let me just read part of this for you. Well, we feel very badly, but you know those great people, those great patriots were out there fighting that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Iran has been very, very badly damaged. They've lost everything almost militarily. We've talked before about the loss and what it means to families. The total number of troops killed stands at 17, 2 of them on Friday. What is your reaction to how the White House and how the president has handled this?
Well, every service member who volunteers to join the U.S. military, deploy overseas, they understand the risk. The risk is from doing something that's in furtherance of our safety and our national security. And people,
they volunteer, so they don't get paid? Wait a second. Our military doesn't get paid? That's news to me. They're volunteers, guys. I didn't know we had a volunteer army. It's a volunteer army. Just like when I volunteer at the food bank, totally the same thing, right? They're volunteers. They don't get paid. They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart and the love of their country. I love this I didn't know that. I thought we had a mercenary army, a bunch of poor people that we pay to be cannon fodder for the oligarchs. I thought that's what we had. I thought we mythologized them and pretended like they were fighting for our rights and freedom while actually just fighting for oil interests and the interests of very, 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 very rich men. I thought that's what they were fighting for. And they're getting paid for that in order to lift them temporarily out of poverty. But they're trading that for long-term PTSD and other disabilities. But they're calling them volunteer. They're volunteers, guys. It's a volunteer army in America.
look at that. I flew 39 combat missions in the first Gulf War. We've got millions of veterans that have fought overseas over the years, over the decades. And
yeah. So everybody is a volunteer, right? You volunteer to work. You don't have to work in America. It's all volunteer. You're all volunteered in America. We're all volunteers. We're all volunteers. We're all volunteers. The band of brothers got paid. Well, a lot of those guys were drafted. Most of the people who died in World War II were drafted. They weren't volunteers. Sorry, the band of brothers were not volunteers. Most of them, the majority of the people who died in World War II on the American side were not volunteers. They were forced. They were conscripted. Volunteer. They applied. Did they apply to go die in Iran? Is that what they applied to do? Oh, How come it's only poor people who volunteer? Only poor people go there. I wonder why. Why does Donald Trump call them all losers and suckers?
You know that's part of the deal. What you don't expect is to have a president that takes us into a conflict without an explainable strategic goal, without a plan, without a timeline, without an exit strategy. And what I see now is I see an administration flailing. He's back to talking about nuclear weapons. The Iranians weren't accelerating the development of a nuclear weapon. They're pretty much at the same place where they were when I came to the Senate 5.5 years ago. So how do you explain?
You know what's funny about that Biden here? I hate Joe Biden, but that picture that they always show, it's his granddaughter after his son had died. And it's a grandfather holding his granddaughter at the funeral of her father, his son. And he's like, he's got his nose on her head, comforting her like a grandfather might. And they're like, look at this creepy guy sniffing her hair. And it's not even what it was. Like that. It's funny because there are creepy things about Joe Biden, but that picture that they always use is Joe Biden's granddaughter at her father's funeral. That ain't that weird. That ain't that weird. Nowhere near as weird as Donald Trump going on the Howard Stern show and saying he likes to fuck 13-year-olds. You know, that's not, I just think I think it's weirder for Donald Trump to go on the Howard Stern show and say he likes to fuck 13-year-olds and he would never do a 12-year-old. And I think it's weird that he would say on the Howard Stern show that he breaks into teenagers' dressing rooms in order to see their beautiful naked bodies without clothes on. I think that's weirder than Joe Biden comforting his granddaughter at her father's funeral. And he died in the military. He must have been a volunteer. Was he a volunteer?
Into those family members, like why did their sons and daughters, in this case, parents in a lot of cases, children, why did they lose their lives? What was this for? How did this make us safer? And the result is, I mean, not only is this not making us safer, people are losing their lives, it's also having this huge impact on the American people. Just today, I was meeting with my ag advisory committee. So it's a bunch of farmers and ranchers give me advice. They tell me because of diesel and fertilizer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's also not weird. I know people who take showers with their family up until like 12 or 13 years old. I think that's pretty normal until they start turning into women. They take showers with their family. They do that type of thing. Yeah. Even I would take showers with my mom and dad and stuff when I was like 5 and 6, probably. I don't know. I don't know when you stop doing that. I don't really remember. But when you're little, you take baths with your mom and you take showers with your mom and your dad sometimes. Usually your mom. Sometimes your dad. Sometimes I took showers with my dad. I remember one thing when my dad was in the shower with me, teaching me how to wash my own hair, and he did this thing on my head. It hurt so bad when he washed my hair. He's like, "This is how you wash your hair." It hurt me. It hurt. I remember that. There's nothing sexual about it. I don't remember anything about his nakedness. Sorry, creepos. I don't remember him being naked. I know he was, but I don't remember it because I was little and he was teaching me how to wash my hair because he was my dad. That's all. That's it. I've read his daughter's own words. Don't worry, I have. She said that might have been inappropriate, but I don't think so, is what she said. So whatever, man.
Because of this war, their costs are up 45%. My question
again, Biden. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is president. Joe Biden isn't. Donald Trump is the one limiting your rights. Joe Biden has no power. Get over it. I've always hated Joe Biden. Everybody hates Joe Biden. You fucking weirdos. Why are you still talking? You want to talk about Reagan too and Nixon? Let's all talk about Nixon. Let's have a show every time we bring up Donald Trump. We'll talk about Richard Nixon because it's appropriate. It gives great context to bring up fucking Richard Nixon.
Can you make money? Well, not right now. They can't. So you're going to see farms and ranches start going out of business because of a president who fundamentally doesn't know what he's doing and can't think strategically.
I know, and we wanted to talk about this today for so many reasons, including that I think a lot of people are just looking for information. It's not coming in a reliable way.
See, this is what it is, MAGAs. They got this in their head, man. They're always thinking about fucking kids. They always got it in their brains. It's the craziest thing. You say something And MAGAs will always, did your dad bend you over to teach you to wash it? It's always the same. MAGAs are obsessed with children, obsessed with having sex with kids. You guys are constantly talking about it all the time. It's crazy how much you guys are talking about sex with kids all the goddamn time. And you've got a pedophile president. And you guys are like, sex with kids, we love it, sex with kids. It's like I think you just like Donald Trump because he has sex with kids. I think you love Donald Trump because he was part of the Epstein organization, that he was the co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. I think that's why you like him. That's a feature, not a bug for you guys. The rest of America is like, damn, Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein and they committed crimes together. That's crazy. That's wrong. Not MAGA. They're like, we love him because of that, not despite of it. Not in spite of it. We love him because of that. Because we can't stop thinking about it.
From the White House or from the Pentagon, you're on the Armed Services Committee. Do you feel like you have a good sense of the status of this war and what's actually happening, or any of the strategy here?
Sometimes, I mean, we got to pull it out of them, right? We've got to request briefs. So usually it often takes too long. Sometimes you feel like you're not getting all the information. You're getting pieces, whether it's from the Defense Department. I feel a little bit better on the Intelligence Committee. I'm also a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee on that side, but it's a challenge. I mean, we have a Secretary of Defense that's
Democrats have no power, sweet havoc. Your job is to question power. And I talk about Democrats every day because they're always in the fucking way of real change.
It's not focused on the right things. I mean, this week it was about testosterone.
This guy's a fucking Democrat.
What would you make of that?
This guy's a Democrat. I was just talking shit about how he said that the militaries are volunteer. I was just talking shit about Democrats, and you assholes are, you never talk about Democrats. This is literally a Democrat that I was just making fun of.
The testosterone focus.
The U.S. military does not need more testosterone. It needs better leadership. And that starts with the Secretary of Defense. It also starts with the Commander-in-Chief. I mean, ultimately, he is responsible. He's the one that hired Pete Hegseth, who is the most unqualified individual we've ever had in this position by far. They're firing the wrong people. And Pete Hegseth is firing people because they're women and they're black. President should fire Pete Hegseth. He's making awful decisions. It's putting service members at risks that I would not have expected when I served, that a Secretary of Defense would make these sort of decisions, or a president. I mean, I served under George H.W. Bush. Went to war in Iraq because Iraq invaded Kuwait. We had a goal, push them out to support our ally. That's not this. This is a president. I mean, who knows why he got us into this? Was it the Epstein files? I'm not sure.
It wasn't nuclear weapons. It's nukes. It's got to be nukes. It's all about nukes.
Sure, I'm not sure we'll ever know.
They have not had a briefing, a high-level briefing.
Does anybody believe that it's that we in it for nukes? Hold on, let me do a quick poll. I think we need a poll. We need to do a quick poll so that I can know what the deal is, because do you guys believe that it's about nukes? You can't actually believe that, right? Let's put a poll. I'm going to put a poll in the chat right now just to see how many of you are idiots. I just want to see how many people watching are gullible pieces of shit. Let's see. Do you think the Iran war is about nukes? That's it. Simple question. Yes or no? Yes or no? Come on, let me know. Let me know in the chat.
Briefing since early May, which is very uncommon. I mean, I never served in the military, but having served in government a long time is very uncommon. Typically, there's a lot of briefings.
Oh, 9% of you.
Things that happen, especially in a time of military conflict. There also, in advance of these 2 U.S. service members being killed on Friday, there were also at least 3 other undisclosed Iranian strikes, also in Jordan, that injured dozens of others and damaged several helicopters. I'm raising this because you keep hearing from them that they can't disclose information about operational aspects, about injury.
Okay, so 90% of you so far have said no. Well, that means that Donald Trump's a fucking liar. Then he's a liar. Do you believe that Venezuela was about cocaine? A country that is not known for growing or distributing cocaine? You think that that's why we kidnapped Maduro, was because of cocaine? It just happens to be a coincidence. So what a coinky dink that Venezuela has the most oil reserves on planet Earth. It's just a. And now he's saying he took them over. He says we took over. That's what he said on his last speech. We took over Venezuela on Friday. Took them over. How did that happen? Incredible.
Because of national security reasons. I'm going to call BS on that, but I want you to get your thoughts on sort of what that justification and what it's withholding from the public.
They don't want there to be any accountability. They don't want to be criticized. I mean, have we ever had a president with thinner skin than Donald Trump? He doesn't like criticism. I mean, I said something that back in November that was basically followed law. I said I should be hanged. People criticize this administration. He sends the Department of Justice after them. We've seen that happen over and over again. You criticize the Department of Defense, you get a response sometimes from the Secretary of Defense. That's not what the Founding Fathers envisioned, with the separation of powers between the branches, and that would be
Founding fathers, you fucking Democrats with your founding fathers. No, the founding fathers never want. The founding fathers thought that they were too afraid of the people. They still wanted to give lip service to the will of the people and thought that they could create a republic like they did in Greece by saying that the will of the people will be filtered through the oligarchy, through the elites. And that's what they did. They started a little country that called the constitutional democracy, where they filter the will of the people through the oligarchy. And that's what we got. That's what we got in America. And you Democrats will do everything you can to keep it that way. You Democrats will do everything you can to keep the rich rich and the poor poor. You Democrats will take all the money so that you and your people we'll take care of the people. We'll take care of the people so they don't kill us. But Democrats, same as Republicans, they just use lube. That's the only difference between Democrats and Republicans, is the Democrats use lube before they bend you over.
the legislative branch holds the executive branch accountable. Supreme Court, is part of this, and we kind of work together. And you should be okay with criticism. I mean, I've been in leadership roles throughout my career. I used to tell my space shuttle crew members, question my decisions. Please do that. Because at times, maybe I'm making the wrong decision. You don't see that from this administration. And because of this.
Do you think Senator Mark Kelly, how do we know this is Senator Mark Kelly? Is this not his, maybe it could be his twin brother. This could be his twin brother, like with Gallagher, how Gallagher's twin brother took over the act.
Lack of accountability and their desire to never be criticized, and a president that just wants yes people around him.
Oh, yeah. The Republicans, there's no Republicans anymore. You just have MAGA. Like, there are no Republicans. I just say Republicans as if they still exist, but they don't. It's just MAGA now. You have the Nazi Party. You have there's some Democrats left, and then you have the Social Democrats. The Social Democrats will rise to power, eliminating the Democrats. There will be no more Democrats. And then the MAGA will make it illegal to be a Social Democrat, just like they did in Nazi Germany, because Social Democrats stood up to Hitler. And so Hitler killed most of them. 92 of them voted against turning Hitler into Der Führer, to the dictator. They didn't want to make him a dictator. So they voted against it. And so then he killed them all. Well, he didn't kill them all. He put most of them in jail, killed some of them, deported others. But it didn't matter because he made their party illegal. Make me a dictator, everybody. I need the power. It's an emergency. We got all these foreigners here, and we got to deport them all. I need to be a dictator. And they voted him to be a dictator. And the people who voted against him being a dictator and against the mass deportations, they just made their party illegal. You ever heard Donald Trump say that he wants to make the Democratic Party illegal? Have you ever heard him say that? No.
This is what happens. You wind up in a conflict on the other side of the world with, now we're approaching 20 dead Americans, 100 injured, tens of billions of dollars spent, and costs skyrocketing for the American people when we have folks across our country that can't afford rent.
Who in their right mind would vote for a DSA candidate? Well, anyone who hates Hitler, anybody who hates Nazis. That's it. I mean, the DSA killed all those Nazis. So, like FDR was a social democrat. We have had social democrats before, but they killed the Nazis. So anybody who hates Nazis might vote for DSA.
And healthcare and even food. That's the consequence of a president making such a bad decision as he did back in February.
We have just seen the ending of this Senate hearing with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and General Dan King. This is one of the most significant reviews of the ongoing open-ended war with Iran that the president did not seek Congress's authority or approval for. And yet we know he still needs Congress's money, which is, of course, at the end of the day, your money. And that's to continue this. This was Hegseth's first time there.
Exactly, drummer boy. It's pure stupidity. We give them we give these assholes $1 trillion a year, and they're out here begging for more money to fight an illegal war. It's pure stupidity. You're absolutely right. It is not a volunteer army. It's a mercenary army, which is why they're asking for more money. All these guys we mythologize with their little ribbons and their stars on their epaulettes, little pins on their lapels. You can put little pieces of metal all over them and call them heroes and defenders of democracy all you want. But they aren't defenders of democracy. They're defenders of our oil interests.
In months, he wants the money to pay for this war. It's about $70 billion more. Pentagon is, of course, doing their best. And as many experts and veterans have pointed out, The Pentagon, the military, the people actually carrying out the war do what they are told by the president. That is the system. And yet on the political side, this war that the president did not get approval for or build support for is now languishing. And you can see that in the hearing. If you've been watching MS now, you've probably seen some of the exchanges, which included some tough ones with Republicans. We have a budget issue here. It is an urgent budget shortfall, as some have put it. Lines of funding would run out within weeks, the Washington Post reports, and that's from the Iran war. That is just one way to describe the costs. When you get into the human costs, it's already 17 Americans dead, 100 troops injured in the last 2 weeks. These are real people. And I will note, having followed along with the hearing today, that many of the lawmakers in both parties discussed and paid tribute to that human cost, to the people actually fighting this war. If there was agreement on something today, it would be, of course, a tribute to those people, Americans, who are braving the war. But the second thing we saw was some unity on the idea that this is not going well. Republicans,
they were volunteers, guys. Luke says were volunteers.
Traditionally, of course, softer on that, saying it in certain ways, sometimes diplomatically, sometimes almost in the mode of excuses on behalf of Trump. But you didn't hear a lot of voices today saying there's a clear objective, a clear plan, or a clear exit path. Hegseth also, because he's under oath, had to give up a little more factual transparency than I would say he or other officials in the administration are known for. And so he said straight up something that's pretty unpopular when you think about the high prices, cost of gas, people having to change or cancel summer plans because everything's more expensive right now.
See, I really appreciate people like Revolver Rambles. I love guys like this because I like when they wear their swastika right out there. You know, I'm like more like Aldo Raines, you know. I just can't abide y'all taking off that uniform. That you can take off that pretty Nazi uniform when you get home. No, that's something I can't abide. I appreciate you wearing that Nazi uniform. I appreciate you wearing. I'm going to give you something you can't take off. I like it when people like Revolver Rambles, they carve the swastika right in their forehead so that we can all see which ones of you are the Nazis. I like it. I like the honesty. I appreciate the honesty, Revolver Rambles. I love guys that are just totally honest about loving the Nazis. Donald Trump idolizes Adolf Hitler. He reads, I think it's probably the only thing Adolf that he's ever read is Mein Kampf and the speeches of Adolf Hitler. His wife said so, that he would have speeches of Adolf Hitler printed in English so he can read them and study them. Like, he quotes Hitler all the time. Same with Stephen Miller. They do it constantly. Tom Homan, they constantly quote Nazi-era leaders. And I appreciate it when you guys are like, well, I appreciate it when you guys are open about your Nazism. I truly am. I don't like it when y'all take off that Nazi uniform. I like it nice and pretty on you. I like it when you're right there. But you know, when you come onto this union, you take on a debit, and that's 100 scalps taken from the heads of 100 dead Nazis. And I want my Nazi scalps, and the Nazis will fear us, and the Nazis will know our names.
He mentioned the war has already run up a tab of $37 billion. And here's some of those exchanges today.
What has actually been achieved? We hear a different rationale for this war every few days.
Your fallback to the Biden administration is just a very, very obvious excuse for what I think is probably, as you described so often.
Give me a list of quotes from Stephen Miller that seem to mirror those of Nazi-era leaders.
Your characterization. I think your first strategic mistake was to not consult the American people in Congress and make a clear case for the reasons behind this war.
I think the American people...
Look at this. There's so many we get to look at. Civilization survival and what you have no idea how determined we will be to save the civilizations, to save the West, to save those republics. Historians and analysts have noted that the framing political and demographic shifts as an existential battle to save the West mirrors messaging used by 20th century European nationalist movements emphasizing cultural racial heritage. Miller quote, "The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil." Critics of linguistics analysis have pointed out that the framing political opposition in absolute spiritual and cosmic terms of light and dark closely echoes the apocalyptic propaganda style employed by Nazi figures like Joseph Goebbels. Democrats changed the politics by changing voters. That's how you turn a city that defined U.S. dominance into what it is now. The comparison. Observers argue that treating migration and changing demographics as an intentional mechanism to subvert or remake a native population shares conceptual DNA with replacement-style conspiracy theories historically used by fascist movements to vilify outsiders. Bro, it's so fucking easy. You don't have to look far. It's all over. Why don't you read some shit? God damn, read a little bit, homie. Just read a little bit. It's all over. Stephen Miller, it's like his speeches are like word for word from Joseph Goebbels. It's insane. It's like fucking like plagiarism. It's plagiarism. Tom Homan. Holy shit, he sounds like Heinrich Himmler. Every time he gets out of bed, he starts sounding like Heinrich Himmler. You can't really blame him. We're just doing our jobs, the Nuremberg defense. I mean, you can't really blame him. He likes his job. He likes killing immigrants, shooting people in the face and stuff like that. He loves that shit, dragging people out of their houses naked, killing their dogs. He loves that shit, separating families. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. God damn it. It's like... I remember having to read all those speeches, all the books from those times and stuff. And like, I remember saying when I lived in Germany, I was like, this could never happen in America. It can never happen in America. I feel so embarrassed that I used to say that. I used to say that to Germans. I used to say, it'll never happen in America. And they're like, it could happen in America. No, it could never happen in America. No, we'll never be bootlickers like you guys. We will never worship the military uniform. We'll never worship the military uniform. We'll never worship a leader like a weird looking guy who makes us feel more American. We'll never fall for it. We'll never fall for it. And here I am in America, a bunch of people falling for it. Half the country's falling for it.
To deserve a definition of what it means to win in Iran.
President Trump has, by any objective measure, failed to achieve his goals.
Guys, we need straight answers. We need straight answers.
That last voice, Republican Senator Kennedy,
We need answers.
accusing the Pentagon and the administration of not giving straight answers today, as well as in the lead up to today. If you watch these type of hearings or their excerpts and you're watching the news, so you're probably familiar, you might have noticed that there was a seriousness, a sobriety, even at times a kind of a hard-headed, kind of calm energy, if you want to put it that way, in the room, because this is not some other political thing, even by the lower standards of MAGA.
We just need more money. We need more money to kill more Iranians. Why don't you just take it from Israel? We're fucking giving them all this money. Take the money away from them. Give it to the... No, we need to defund your schools so we can have more money for... We can't have health care. Bernie Sanders, and I think he's lying, but Bernie Sanders says it'll cost $50 billion to have $50 billion a year to have single payer health care so that everyone can get health care in America. Everybody. Every man, woman, and child can go to a doctor for free for $50 billion a year. I don't think that's true because it cost Israel $70 billion and they got way less people than we do. But okay, so let's just say let's call it $300 billion a year. That's still only a third of the annual budget for the Pentagon. If we multiply Bernie Sanders' estimation for what it's going to cost for healthcare in America for every man, woman, and child, if we multiply it by 6 times 5, right? Yeah. And we get to 300 billion, sorry. It's still only a third of what we pay to kill people in Iran. Meanwhile, Iran has a constitutional right to go see a doctor. Every man, woman, and child is allowed to seek health care. Every man, woman, and child has the right to go see a doctor. Israel, every man, woman, and child has the right to go see a doctor. Iraq, every man, woman, and child has the right to see a doctor. Not in America.
Era and some of the people that Trump has put in charge of major operations who still seem like they're making, internet content or trolling or want to make points on social media. This was a serious hearing about a serious topic. And Secretary Hegseth, who is presiding over a very unpopular war and a lot of questions, I will say as an observer, he struck a more serious tone, at least in style, than many other Trump officials. And perhaps they know.
It is not trillions. That's not true. It costs us $3 trillion today in healthcare to have some of the worst healthcare in the world. We cost Americans $3 trillion and we aren't even all covered. So no, that's what you're saying is not true. The estimates are usually in the hundreds of billions of dollars for single payer healthcare, which is still even if it was $1 trillion, I'd still be. Let's call it $1 trillion just for argument's sake, just so we can stay friends. Let's call it $1 trillion. It's still better than paying $1 trillion to the military. We have a healthcare crisis in America. We have people losing their shit and shooting large groups of people. Because we have no health care, because we have no mental health care. We have no health care. You can't go see a shrink when you're feeling weird. But we force you to work and we threaten to starve you. We force you to work hundreds of hours and all these. We do all sorts of horrible shit to you as a country, as a society. But if you feel weird, feel like you might feel a little murdery, you can't go see a doctor about that. You can't do that.
that this is only going to get worse and look worse if they do anything to minimize what I mentioned, the loss of life, the unpopularity around the country, and what are frankly bleak.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Medical system is corporate welfare. You're absolutely right, JS Undudu. You're absolutely correct. Because what we do, we just subsidize the billionaires and the oligarchs. Because rather than have a single payer where we all just sort ourselves out, we have our own fucking healthcare. We administer it ourselves. We have corporations do it because it's so much more efficient. Well, it's more efficient because they're killing people. They're murdering people. Don't forget to smash that like button, baby doll.
Choices ahead. Anyone in this country who might be against the war isn't rooting for demise. They're rooting for this thing to end. But how? We are reading reports that Trump is considering two options now that his ceasefire is basically broken. One would be a new 10-day ceasefire to just reopen the strait. You'll recall that would be still trying to get back to where we started before he launched this war. Option two, reportedly, would be a massive joint military campaign with Israel to force Tehran's capitulation. Now, that's Axios is reporting. The Post says U.S. intel believe that strikes are unlikely to move Iran, and that it's unlikely to soften its negotiating position because of U.S. military action. Another way to say that is what commanders have said throughout.
Thanks, Hamid Sarwar.
Kane mentioned today. The United States has extraordinary bombing capabilities, but it is a matter of strategic reality and modern military history that the United States has never run a bombing campaign or an air war to total victory. That is to say, if you want to take out a major country, you end up having a ground war. That's what we had in Iraq. Very few people think that's where we should go. So option two, if it is just more and more bombs, according to, again, the current general in charge under the Trump administration, even by his testimony today, that's not going to solve this thing. Now, Republicans are worried about the blowback. Many Republicans say they're now boxed in. The Times reporting the collapse of the ceasefire presents them with a political...
It's only... My wife's new job offers healthcare coverage. It's only $1,800 a month with an $18,000 deductible for the two of us. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so my biggest expense is healthcare, and I don't have it. I don't pay for healthcare, but I'm thinking about getting it because I'm getting older. I feel like when I turn 50, I should have healthcare because, you know, when you're 50, I might slip and fall or some shit. I don't know. I'm getting old. You know, I'm about to turn 50. I'm thinking when I turn 50, I'll get my health insurance. I haven't had health insurance for years. I don't like health insurance. I don't like paying for nothing. And every time I have it, they don't fucking. I had it for like a year when I was at PETA, and they didn't pay for shit. So screw it. I still got to pay when I go into the urgent care. What the fuck are you talking about? I'll just pay it. So let me get this right. I pay you all year, and then when I go to the urgent care or something, you're gonna charge me again? What's the point of that? How about I don't pay you all year and I just pay you when I go to the urgent care? I'll pay you the $250 when I go to urgent care. Fuck you. But that's because, like, I'm healthy. I'm pretty healthy. I never have any problem. Never had a cavity. I'm pretty healthy. I'm somewhat sane. But I would love to have the ability to go talk to a shrink. I'd go talk to him. Fuck it. I'd do it. Yeah. If the left has their way, income will be taxed 50%. I doubt many of you can say, you're so stupid, Sweet Havoc. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. 50%. The only people who pay 50%, they should be paying 90%. The billionaires, 90%. Take 90%, just like they used to. They used to take 90%. 50%. You're so stupid. They want to tax everybody 50%. No, they don't. No, they don't. They want to tax corporations and rich people. Stop supporting rich people and have rich people support the people. Instead of the poor people supporting the rich, the leftist says maybe the rich people should support the poor. That's it. That's pretty fucking basic, right? We got a lot more people that need feeding. And we got plenty of food. But we got these assholes over here stealing food, and they're putting it in warehouses, and they're not letting anybody have it. So we got to kill those guys and give everybody else the food. That's it. Instead of the poor supporting the rich support the poor. It's simple idea.
Worst case scenario month.
Instead of the lazy people having all the money, power, and wealth, and the working class have nothing, we're going to switch that. The workers get everything, and the lazy people get nothing. How about that? That's what I want. I want the lazy people to have nothing and the workers to have everything. Seems pretty easy.
Before the midterms, Politico quotes one ex-Republican saying this whole thing has become a persistent dark cloud over the whole GOP. Here's what we were hearing recently on Fox.
The clock is ticking for President Trump to get out of this war before voters head to the polls.
He promised to keep us out of endless wars or unsatisfactory wars, and now he's in one.
It's making a lot of Republicans nervous. It's already, as we know, unpopular.
Unpopular, nervous, bracing for a rout. We began with the substance, the lives lost, the cost, the way this war was launched without congressional authorization.
I have a feeling the Democrats are going to make a little hay out of this war come November. What do you think?
Something that, after enough time, can become a violation of the War Powers Act and other limits on the executive's power. That's the substance. What I'll tell you tonight from observing this hearing, and we're about to bring in our expert guests, is this is one of those times where the substance is also driving the politics. Rare, I know. But the substance, the problems with no exit ramp, the problems with Donald Trump's approach to the war, the lies or mistakes he has made thus far, because he said many things that aren't true about the duration and the exit and the U.S. strategic position.
Donald Trump said things that were untrue.
All of those substantive failures are now stoking a political failure for the Republican Party that may explain the very different tenor we saw in this relatively tough hearing today.
So 92% of you are saying that you would rather have health care than endless wars. I'm pretty proud. I'm proud of you. If you only have $1 trillion, what are you going to spend it on? Endless wars or health care for everybody so everybody can see a doctor? I like it. You cannot put ground troops down. You cannot put ground troops down. Don't put them down. Don't call them mean people. Don't put ground troops down. They're busy raping women.
The growing fall.
They're busy raping women. They can't put. Don't put them down. Don't put them down. Is that what you mean? Don't put them down. All right, that's the show. Eat healthy, says Frank the Tank. Eat healthy. That's what you got to do. Just eat healthy. You'll be fine. I do eat healthy. I've been vegan for 21 years. I never have to go see a doctor, but every once in a while I get an injury. Like I hurt my foot. I hurt my foot once. That's what I was thinking. I was telling that story about going to the urgent care and then wanting money. I still got to pay. The hell's the point? So anyway, sometimes you get hurt, you know, you just bad luck every once in a while. I'm very careful, but every once in a while you get bad luck. I've been pretty lucky though. I'm a lucky guy. I'm just a lucky guy. So I'm happy. You talk shit about the troops. Well, yeah, they're just people who took jobs. Yeah, of course they talked shit about the troops. Why wouldn't you talk shit about the troops? Are you okay that they keep raping women? Are you okay with that part? You're not allowed to talk about the rape problems. You can't talk about the rape problems, okay? What? You're talking shit about the troops. Don't talk about how our troops rape women. You're not allowed to talk about that. What? Why wouldn't I talk about that? Why wouldn't you talk about that? You wouldn't to their face? Of course I would. Of course I would. I do it all the time. I've been out in San Diego. I've had lots of arguments with people in the service. I have friends in the military I've talked shit to. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? That's like saying you wouldn't talk shit to a pizza delivery man. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? You wouldn't talk shit to their face. Yeah, I would. I have. Y'all got a rape problem. You got a rape shit. I've got a friend who's fucking, he was in the military for like 14 years. He's been on the show numerous times. Of course I talk shit to him. Of course I do. San Diego, nobody tough there? You never heard of Camp Pendleton? It's the biggest Marine base. What are you talking about? You never been to San Diego? Look at this moron. Doesn't know where San Diego is. Never heard of Camp Pendleton? No. This guy's calling all the people at Camp Pendleton pussies. Damn, son. No, who's talking shit on the military now? God damn. Who's talking shit on the military now? Tough guy. Yeah, you're a tough guy. You would never talk shit on them. Don't talk shit. Don't talk about all the rapes. Don't talk about Abu Ghraib. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about that stuff. What? I'm American. I'm allowed to talk about whatever the fuck I want. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not allowed to talk about it? Trump literally calls our veterans losers. He calls them when they're dead losers. He said that John McCain was a loser because he got captured. He was shot down, that he wasn't a war hero. He called John McCain a loser. That's true. Any big city does have tough guys, but those guys in Camp Pendleton, I've been on Camp Pendleton many, many times. I've been to that. I used to love going. I had this friend, my next door neighbor. He was in the army, but he can go to the PX on Camp Pendleton. Sometimes we drive there and buy cool shit. Sometimes the PX got cool shit. I got a compass there. I thought it was pretty cool. Sometimes I don't know. Back in the old days, the PX kind of was cool. You could get like DVDs that you couldn't get other places. Pretty cool shit. Some without country code too. Sometimes like the DVDs at the PX you could get without country code. I thought that was pretty neat. Back in the old days, you know. These days, no one watches DVDs, but we used to go to the PX and get DVDs that didn't have country code, so you can watch them anywhere. We thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. It says that Donald Trump dodges the draft. He's a tough guy. Yeah. Yeah, Donald Trump removed the left from the military. Is that why we're losing in Iran? Oh, that must be why we're losing. That makes sense. Frank the Tank. So what you're saying is that Donald Trump got all of the lefties out of the military, and that's why we're losing the easiest war ever? Is that why? Is that why we're losing? It must be that why. Yeah. Trump removed a memorial to black WW2 veterans in the Netherlands because of DEI. Yeah, I know. He got rid of he changed the names of a bunch of boats too because of DEI. Yeah. He called them suckers and losers. And yeah, if you talk about the rapes that the military does, then I'm the one talking shit on the military, but Donald Trump calls them suckers and losers. Like, I didn't say that all soldiers are rapists, but our military's got a rape problem, everybody, and it needs to be addressed. We need to talk about it, or else they're going to keep having this problem. We're going to have more rapes, apparently. But MAGA loves rape. MAGA thinks rape is the only way people should have sex. MAGA hates consensual sex. It only likes if one is 12 and the other person is forcing it. That's how they like it. Yes. Thank you. Where's RFK snorting up a toilet seat again? RFK Jr. He's trying to solve the world. He's compiling lists of autistic people for Action T4. Action T4 is back in there. Yes. Mikhail Gorbachev, rape is a problem, period. Stop raping, folks. It's not good. Yeah, it's true. But our military seems to have a particular problem with it, a very particular culture of pro-rape and not much, accountability when it comes to rape. It's a big problem. It's an issue, but don't talk about it. We have to treat them like they're mythological heroes. That's the thing, man. When you're a fascist, you need people to mythologize the military because that makes you feel supreme. The military is a symbol of your supremacy, your domination. No one ever asked the question, well, what gives you the right to dominate anybody? They don't ask that question because the fascist believes they've inherited that right. The fascist believes, blood and soil, that they are supreme to anyone not born here or born a different color or whatever. If they've come, born a little bit different, whatever it is, born mentally disabled, whatever it could be, they're superior and they have the right to dominate others. And in order to wrap that in majesty and a little bit of ritual, you have the military, and the military needs to be always mythologized, like, yes, sir, and all this shit, all the regalia, and everyone's saluting and the hierarchy and all that shit. You need that in order to make yourself feel supreme to people on the other side of the border or of a different ideology, whatever it may be. But eventually, the military is used to control you, the people. And it's just a matter of time, really, that the military, we already kind of have it, but it's just a matter of time because our cops look more and more like military. The National Guard is being used more and more on our people. And pretty soon, like posse comitatus has already been violated. We've already had Marines deployed in LA. Like that's already, the Rubicon has been passed, right? And that's very literal because the reason why we say we've passed the Rubicon is because Julius Caesar marched the troops into Rome, and once you pass the river, he would be breaking the law, and he broke the law. He marched his troops past the Rubicon, and we've broken the Rubicon. It's a point of no return. We use it today because it was a huge detriment to democracy. It was the moment at which they knew that they were going to have an emperor instead of a republic. That Rubicon has been passed in America. Donald Trump has deployed the military. not just the National Guard, but the military on citizens. And he's threatening to do it again. Federal agents are having more shootouts. They've killed many, many people in America, citizens, people that were unintended targets. And those federal agents are having more shootouts than any other time in American history. They've suspended habeas corpus. And it's, I hate to tell it to you guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is it. It's done. It's over. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is going to be a short show because I'm moving, and this will be the last show for the week. I'm hopefully going to be back on the air for the Morning Sky show next Wednesday. In the meantime, if you're a channel member, Sky City Rebels, I'll still be doing live streams, just not for the Morning Sky show because this takes a studio, and I'm dismantling my studio this week. So we're going to move. We're going to move. It's the whole thing. You don't like cops overall? Well, you know, that's yeah, MAGA is a it's dominance culture, right? MAGA is, they say, when you say rape culture, it really is dominance culture. And that's exactly right. You know, that they believe that those who have an inherited power, that they are more important than the rest of us, and that they should be able to dominate us because of it. That's rape power. That's rape culture. Yeah. We call it rape culture, but really it's just you can call it colonialism if you want. It's the same idea that if I have power, I've inherited the right to oppress you. I've inherited the right to dominate you. Just because I have more power. I was born with more money. I was born white. I was born tall. I was born strong. And that gives me the right to dominate others. And I'm the law, and they must stay in order. They better be polite to me because I have inherited these things. I've inherited these traits, the blue eyes, the white skin. I'm 6'5", and I'm stronger than most people. And I've had well, I went to private schools, and I have lots of education. I've read more books than other people. You know, I have more education, and because of that, I should be able to do whatever I want, right? I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and I'm smarter. So I should be able to hurt people. That's just colonialism. All right, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate you very much. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. We're going to miss you, Skyjack. Be safe in your relocation. We'll see you again soon. Thank you, Edward Thornton. You're a channel member, so hopefully we'll see each other again. I'll be doing little things here and there. I'm hoping to get a setup so I can actually live stream the drive. It's an 11-hour drive. I think we could do it in 2 sessions. It's kind of fun. When I was on the road traveling America a couple of years ago, we did a lot of those like drive streams, and those were fun. I felt like a little less lonely on the road, and it was fun. They kept me company. The Sky City Rebels kept me company, so I really liked all that. So thank you. Every abolitionist was a leftist. That's right. Yeah. Every abolitionist was a leftist. Yeah. Freedom, liberty, that type of thing. How come you're not a channel member? Come on now, Dee Dee Sarasan. Why aren't you here? Why? Come on now. Ding dang do. All right, thank you. Brooklyn wants to know what state I'm moving to. I'm moving to New Mexico. That's where all the anarchists move. All the anarchists move to New Mexico. Haven't you heard? Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down because I need you. We need each other, and the animals need us most of all. Thank you, Mikhail Gorbagob. Wish me luck. I'll be there next Wednesday. We'll have another show. Hopefully we'll get this all set up over there. I'm just going to take everything in the studio and just try to rebuild it there. Hopefully it works. I don't know. It's going to be kind of crazy. This life is changing. I'm really worried. A lot of moving parts. Buy a cowboy hat. I have a Stetson. I have a couple cowboy hats already. Everyone wears the wide brim hats because it's so bright out there, and the UV is stronger. So they put more sunscreen on, they drink more water, and they wear those broad hats. It's going to be a while. It's going to take like 3 weeks for me to adjust to the elevation too. The elevations gonna fuck with me because every time I've been to Denver and also Santa Fe, although Santa Fe is so cold, every time I go to Denver and stuff, it's so fucking it's hard for me to adjust to the altitude. I know it's just like you're out of breath and you're tired and you can't drink. You know, you can't drink as much because of it. Has anybody been to the Mile High City? It's a lot. You'll be healthier though. I'll be healthier because I get to walk more and stuff. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Wear it next show. I've worn one of them. Yeah. It's been great. It's been great for sure. What is this guy saying? End the stream. Ah, shit, I missed it. End the stream. What is this guy? I can leave the parm out. End the stream. Just balance, Revolver Rambles, you Nazi weirdo. God damn it. What is it with you Nazis? You guys are on one-track mind. Are excited, nervous? I'm excited. I'm nervous. Yeah, all those things. Yes. Don't move to the. I used to live in the South. I love the South. I live south of Mason-Dixon. I just can't stand all you illiterates. Good show today. Informative, entertaining. Thank you for. Thank you, Steffelson. Thank you, Steffelson. Thank you, Steffelson. You're incredible. I appreciate that so much. You're a beautiful human being, Steffelson, and I love you. Yeah, it'll be exciting. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you on the I'll still be doing live streams. I'll see you guys. You'll still see Sky City Rebels, and hopefully, if I get the Wi-Fi hotspot and everything, we'll be able to do live streams. It'll be really fun. All right, thanks, guys. You're amazing, and I'll see you on the other side. Godspeed, Rebels.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.